RVC. Happy New Year. I thought I'd jump on here, seen everybody doing their top 10s of 2020, and yeah, thought I'd do my thoughts. This is by no means a billboard or anything like that, just my personal opinion. So I'll start off with some honorable mentions. There was a lot of releases this year when I was, taking a look at it. I think it was a pretty good year for music, despite it being such a crappy year. Sorry about that. And so, honorable mentions, what we're listening to right now. The Bastards of Soul, right out of Dallas here. Released on Josie Records, which is a store that, is one that I frequent very often. They have their own label and plant and everything like that. So, this is number 24 out of 50. So, pretty cool. Soul music, local group. Probably would have played a lot more shows this year and stuff like that if it wasn't for COVID. Kind of sounds like something that maybe could be on like Coal Mine Records or something like that. Just like the neo soul that's been coming out and kind of dominating. So yeah, that was an honorable mention. Next, one that almost made number 10, but just I don't know. It just wasn't as good as past releases, I thought. This is Khruangbin. This is Mordecai, I believe. Mordecai. Soul, blues, just instrumental. Really great stuff. It really is. I just think it wasn't as good as some previous albums that they released. This is like the kind of bluish release, but it's still a solid effort from them, but not enough to crack the top 10. And the last honorable mention, also one that almost made the top 10. It came out a long time ago, almost at the beginning of the year, but this is the Monophonics. It's Only Us. Such a huge fan of Kelly Finnegan's vocals, and the Monophonics in general. I think this is a solid release from them. Not as good as their previous album, but still very good. Once again, the neo soul on Coal Mine. I pretty much buy anything on Coal Mine that comes out, but this would be up there as far as things I got from them this year. So if you haven't heard it, definitely check it out if you're into kind of what you're hearing in the background now, or Kelly Finnegan, if you heard of him. This is his original group before he went solo, so very cool, and pretty cool cover. Got the cutout here. Alright, so let's get into the list here. Coming in at number 10, we got the Deathtones, their new album, Ohms. Good stuff. Chino's vocals sound great. The music on it is great, real heavy. Definitely their best album in years, I would say. Definitely better than the last two. Definitely better than the last two. But yeah, just real hard, heavy. Some great tracks on here. Genesis, Air, song 4, really, really nice. So if you haven't heard the new Deathtones, give it a shout, because it's good stuff. Alright, coming in at number 9. I saw some people honorable mention this, but I thought it was a terrific album. But this is Jason Isbell and the 400 Unit Reunions. Such a fan of anything he does, and especially when he gets together with his beautiful wife Amanda. I just think magic happens. I think he's one of the best songwriters out there right now. I think in his discography, it's not his worst, but it's not his best. But I think any album of his at this point would be a top 10 for me. I really enjoy it. There's some great songs on here. Dreamsicle, Running with Our Eyes Closed. Only Children. Some really great tracks on here. It was a welcome addition in the 2020, and if you're into singer-songwriter, country folk type, twinge a little bit to it, and then I think you would enjoy this, even though most of you probably already know who he is. So next, learned about this label by buying an artist you've kind of seen, coming up in the VC, and not coming up in the VC, but a lot of people buying her music. She's becoming real popular in the jazz community. That would be Muriel Grossman. She's on a label out of, I believe, Estonia, and it's RR Gems is the label. They had a couple releases. I think they only had 2 releases this year, a couple represses and stuff. But this was one of the releases from this year. This is Soft Power. The album is Brink of Extinction. Once again, jazz influence, a little bit of electronic in there as well. Just love this. This label can do no wrong to me. Let's see, Final Blow, the last track on side B. It's just awesome. This isn't heavy free jazz or anything like that. I mean, you can put this on at any time, and I think the mood would sit real nice. Yeah, give it a check. You can stream this probably and see if you like it. But yeah, coming in at number 8, Soft Power. All right, coming in at number 7, an album that maybe you didn't expect to see this in my top 10, but I think she's just a brilliant songwriter. With this album especially, she went more to the folk side, kind of like a Joni Mitchell type album to me. But this is Taylor Swift, Folklore at number 7. Awesome record. I mean, I always listen to all her previous records, all the pop stuff with my wife and daughter. And to be honest with you, I enjoyed it. I went to her concert and stuff. But, I mean, this album is excellent. I mean, if you really just sit there and listen to this, you're not going to even think that it's a pop star singing this. It's just got really nice singer-songwriter folk, folk aspects to it. But my favorite song on here would be either Mirrorball or Illicit Affairs are just a couple of my favorite songs. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the follow-up album to this that's coming out in 2021, Evermore. Well, I know it's already out, but I don't have the vinyl on it. It doesn't come out till next year. So this was a surprise, and I think everyone should give this a shot. It's really good. Coming in at number 6. On Apple, Fetch the Bolt Cutters. This album is just crazy. I mean, she really just goes off on this album, I think. Is it her best album? No. There's probably 2 of her other albums, maybe even all 3, I don't know. But still a terrific album. I was really didn't know what to expect. I waited until I got the vinyl to hear it, which took a long time. Rack of His, Newspaper, Heavy Balloon, all terrific tracks. She's probably an artist that I'm going to buy anything that she puts out. Yeah, this was a very good release that she put out. Kind of just all over the place, kind of like usual. But I think it works. And it took me a couple listens to really appreciate, the album as a whole. Yeah, really enjoyed it. So number 6, Fiona Apple, Fetch the Bolt Cutters. Next one is a label that I was kind of introduced to this year. maybe last year. But this album came out earlier in the year, and it's just freaking terrific, man. This is Jeff Parker in The New Breed. The album is called Sweet from Max Brown. This label, know it, love it. International anthem. The stuff they are doing is just incredible. Also, just kind of like Coal Mine, pretty much a label that I'm gonna buy whatever they put out at this point. This is just terrific. He is just a tremendous guitar player. But McCraven plays on here. Nate Walcott. I mean, just great stuff. Like soulful jazz with a little fusion at times. I really think everyone should at least give this a listen. It might not be your thing, but I mean, I just thought it was awesome. So, and once again, wait for that label. All right, coming in at number 4, an artist. He was supposed to release an album a year and a half ago, but for whatever reason, it took him a while to put it all together. But this album is just terrific. Not as good as his last album, but this is Takuya Kuroda, Fly Moon, Die Soon. He's a trumpet player out of Japan, but the stuff he makes is just it's very infused with hip hop, which I really enjoy. Just his mixes, the electronic. I don't know if I would go as far as fusion, but he's a gifted musician, and his album that he put out on Blue Note is just one of my favorites at this point. I only have it on CD because the vinyl is like so out of control, it's ridiculous. But yeah, so this is his new album. Just came out in 2020. This took a while to track down. They weren't actually released in the US. They were only released in Europe and Japan. So they're kind of scattered around. There's a couple stores in the US that imported it, and then I bought it from them. But yeah, check it out. Terrific jazz trumpet player out of Japan, Takuya Kuroda. All right, we've reached the top 3. So coming in at number 3 is an album long time in the making. I think 20 years since our last album. This is Hum, Inlet. Seen this make a couple other people's top 10, but if it takes them 20 years to make this, I think they should wait another 20 years because freaking awesome, man. Just heavy. And the recording is just freaking terrific on Earth Analog Records. But I mean, from start to finish, this album just fits in with their discography so great. If you like old Hum, you're gonna like this because it's awesome. It just hits. It's heavy. The vocals are great. I mean, not really much else to say. But just check it out. I think Dave Local Manography was saying that this was Arches National Park, so that's kind of cool in Utah. So, anyways, Hum, Inlet, coming in at number 3. All right, coming in at number 2. Phoebe Bridgers, Punisher. Just a freaking awesome album, man. Yeah, this is one of the ones I listened to the most this year, I would probably say. This is high up in her discography as well. She's just a terrific songwriter. Nice gatefold. I think she has some other people singing on here with her. Lucy Dacus does some vocals. But I just think she's a really gifted songwriter. It's kind of, obviously indie, folk-ish at times, but it's just kind of like all over the place. You can't really just pinpoint it down, but I would say indie is probably the best way. Dead Ocean's just another label that's putting out terrific stuff. So check it out. Awesome. Phoebe Bridgers, Punisher. All right, and the number one record that for me personally of 2020. Nubia Garcia, Source. Technically, this is her first album, full-length jazz album. She did have, I guess, an EP, but I mean, it was a pretty long EP. So I don't know. I guess I consider this her second album, but they're calling it her first. But whatever. So saxophone player out of the UK, just freaking killer stuff. I mean, this is probably one of the records I listened to the most this last year. I know a lot of people play on this with her. I didn't take off the shrink because the track listing is on the shrink, so I can't get to it right now, but she has a lot of heavy hitters on this album. Yeah, tremendous jazz. If you guys haven't heard of her, definitely check her out. Killer tracks on here. Supposedly she's in the works on a new album, so as a welcome addition, and definitely one I'll be checking out when it comes out. So Nubia Garcia, just another great jazz artist coming out of the UK. Check her out. And that is it. That's my top 10 with a few addition, bonuses, I guess you could say, that didn't make the list, but that's my top 10 of 2020. Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, had a great holidays, and looking forward to 2021. So, all right, guys, take care.